Welcome back, everybody. Ignore the hand up here. We're doing our snap thing. This is Passive and Aggressive. This is a bonus episode.
Bonus round.
Yes, this is MMA exclusive. It is Friday night, the 8th.
You sure?
Yes, 9 p.m. I just watched the UFC weigh-in.
So did I.
For UFC 234.
I cried. Did you cry?
I did not cry.
Fucking...
Why'd you cry? Because of Anderson Silva?
Obviously.
What did he say exactly?
He said,
I'm excited to be here. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody, for coming. I trained my whole life for this moment.
You can't do this in like a Brazilian accent. You're like the accent guy.
Not Anderson's, because he has like a lighter tone.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. No, see,
Jesus.
it's not good. It's not good. That's why I didn't try to do it.
I can probably look it up. Can we look it up?
Go for it. Look it up. We can get the sound on it.
234.
Basically said You're just going to start shouting as I'm talking.
Go ahead.
It's cool. No doubt. I don't remember what I was talking about. He said that...
Shut up.
Don't do the whole thing,
I'm
man.
not. I'm fast forwarding. When I saw about the weigh-in, I think Israel looked kind of shook, if I'm being honest.
Israel looked shook?
He did his little stance, and then Anderson's going like this, and then he copied Anderson.
I saw that, yeah.
All right, let's listen. Shout out to Taco Bell. I can see how this is an emotional moment for him.
Of course. You think this is his last fight?
No. This is the number one contender fight.
Because he says one more.
Yeah, one more after this one.
No. He says I'm ready to do one more. I'm talking about this one.
Nah. He only accepted this to be number one contender.
Yeah. What if he loses, though?
Then he might retire. He's crying to everybody. Oh, now he's crying.
It takes him a little while to get there. Fans cheer him on.
I get why he's so emotional.
How can you not be emotional?
And then Israel was like giving him a little shout out. Did you see what Israel said after?
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious.
We'll get there.
I worked my entire life for this sport.
That's an impossible accent to nail.
I could do it.
Say thank you, God, for giving one more time the great opportunity.
One more time.
Give a great show for you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Australia. Thank you, Dana. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thanks so much. Thank you.
Welcome back, the legend, folks, Anderson Silva. And here he is, the man.
When you hear it without watching it, it doesn't sound that great.
Dude, it's like Aldo. You want him to win. I really want him to win.
You want Israel to lose?
Fuck yeah.
He's trying to make me cry. Fuck him. First of all, Melbourne, what's up?
What's up? Is he from Australia?
He's from Nigeria, but he lived in New Zealand. He was educated in New Zealand.
And a special shout out. He's trying to make me cry for real. To everyone from Auckland that came through, I appreciate you.
I shipped to
Oakland out to
Now he's
Auckland.
crying.
Yeah.
Dude, Anderson's in his head.
Think he did it on purpose?
Yeah. He's a troll.
Because I'm a fan doesn't mean you can't catch these hands and elbow and feet and knee. Tomorrow we're going to throw everything in the cage. You're going to have fun, all right? I'll set him off in a nice way. Let's go.
Ooh, I like it.
He wrapped it up pretty nice.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So basically, in this episode, we explained in our other episode. Anyways, we're going to talk about like the past week and a half of MMA shit because we were a week and a half behind.
Yeah.
Because I just purchased a house. I talked about it in the podcast. It's going to be uploaded Monday. You guys can stay tuned for that one to listen to that in further detail. Because I ain't uploading that shit right now because I'm too fucking lazy to edit it. So fuck off.
As long as you're honest.
I am.
So this one's going to be specifically about the past week and a half of MMA, including this upcoming fight night.
Yes.
That's not even a fight night. It's a fight card.
Right. It's a
234.
pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's just do the pay-per-view right now because we're already on the subject.
We're already here, baby.
Yeah. And it's only 2 fights that we're really going to talk about. But Della Rose
and Nadia Kasim.
That chick.
She's so attractive.
I was taking a shit. And I watched the weigh-ins. I was like, who the fuck is this chick? Clicked on her Instagram. I'm like, God damn, she has an ass. Did you see her ass? It was sticking out like the ring card goes, dude.
She's also a very respectable fighter, and we hope she, puts her skills on talent.
Don has never seen her fight. He has no idea what any kind of fight talent he has. The only reason why he said that is because he likes her ass, and he likes
to respect people?
Of people that aren't white.
Whoa, hold up. Wait a minute.
He white shames people. That
is not at all true.
He don't like white people.
Yeah, we'll be out, and Nick will be like, go talk to that girl. I'll be like, I can't. She's white.
Pretty much. So... only 2 fights we're going to talk about is the co-main event and the main event because all the other fights in this card are kind of underwhelming, and I'm not going to lie and act like I know who they are, but give you my picks on that.
You could just be knowledgeable about the sport.
I could have done my due diligence and like researched every fighter, but that's just not me. I wanna talk about the fighters that I know.
What I'm saying is that you should already. Whatever, you can go ahead and do your thing,
is
big
fighting
buck.
as well, but Smiling Sam,
Sam.
he's gonna get destroyed. From the other guy, he's 9-0. From what I hear he's really good, but I've never seen him fight, so I'm not gonna,
Okay, I get you. So what's the first fight then? Obviously,
Israel Adesanya,
the
versus
last style bender.
I like his fucking nickname.
I do too.
Like it
matches his fucking.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to call it. He's got this feng shui
the
about him.
Spider Silva. He got some weird kind of swagger to him.
Yeah.
The odds on this fight, last time I checked, is a minus 670 for Israel and a plus 485 for Anderson.
Bro,
Anderson's almost a 5-1 underdog.
Bet the house on Anderson.
I was gonna say no, don't do that.
Not the actual house.
But
we need that.
If you want a dog in the fight, like if you're trying to make some money on a fight, Anderson might be a good pick. But I'll explain more. So,
bet the house and lose all your money. Don't blame me.
do you know, like, Israel's past it all? Like, he was a kickboxer, right?
Yep, I actually watched a little bit of a highlight of his in the ring boxing days.
Yeah, he's
pretty slick.
Yeah, he's slick. He's 52-2 professional kickboxer, but if you include his amateur kickboxing, I think he's either like 75-2 or over 100 fights, something like that.
It's ridiculous.
I think it's over 100 fights of amateur kickboxing. And obviously he's undefeated in MMA. Mm-hmm. And he fights a lot. This is his 5th fight in like a 367 calendar day year. Like if you added like 3 more days to a year, this would be 5 fights in a year.
Okay.
So it's pretty active.
Yeah,
that's
it
like
is.
cowboy level right there. And he rose really quickly. And his first main test was against fucking Hawaiian. I forget his name. I'm just gonna look this up real quick. Brad Tavares. I was fucking with you guys. I knew it the whole time. Hi, Mom. Yeah, his first test was against Brad Tavares, and it was a fucking 5-round fight, main event, and he looked amazing. Like, you got to showcase his true talents there.
Sure.
I was nervous for him for that fight because obviously when you're a kickboxer and you go in MMA, the ground game is a legit issue. And if you're not confident in your ground and then grappling and all that, then you can get exploited. He looked like a mini John Jones, amazing takedown defense, and just showcased his talents. And just outclassed Brad Tavares completely.
There's something weird about these tall, lanky,
Strong
pointy fucking guys that no one can take down, and they just piece you up. It's really strange. It's a strange archetype of fighter.
The length, like that lengthy kind of person, I feel like is the best build for a fighter. Because if you
don't think like a Yoel Romero is the best kind of build?
No.
He's like a literal
He's a tank.
Greek Roman.
He's a tank, but people like Israel, I think, would give you all a hard time.
I mean, yeah, you wouldn't be able to reach him.
Yeah, you got look what Whitaker did. He forced you all to be behind his jab, and he was injured both fights. I want to talk about Whitaker right later. I don't want to fucking. I got a lot to
spoil anything.
Yeah. So Israel, like I was mentioned earlier, he was born in Nigeria,
right,
in Africa, and his in a wealthy family. Like his parents had servants and shit. Yeah, they were
servants.
They were really well off, and
okay.
His dad was worried about the education systems in Africa, so they were going to move them to America. I don't know if you know this or not.
I didn't.
And right before they moved to America, 9/11 happened.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so they were like, fuck that place. We're not going to America. It's dangerous. So they went all the way to Auckland, New Zealand, which I shipped there. You know, my job, shout out, ship the fucking Australian shit. So,
no one cares.
Anyways,
meaningless.
I'm partially related to this fight somehow.
You could basically get to the UFC just by relation to Israel.
And so he grew up in Auckland, and he said he was bullied there a lot because he was one of the few black people there.
Sure.
And the statistics of it is like there's like 0.01% African Americans in Auckland, or in not necessarily Auckland, but in his specific city itself. I forget the city that he grew up in.
Yeah, the rest are hobbits. Yeah.
So he said he was out of place and he was trying to fit in for the longest time, and eventually he just fucking said fuck it and just started being himself. And obviously with training and all that, you get your own confidence, your own swagger, and then you develop into a bad motherfucker like him. And he loves anime.
Yeah, he's in the generation for anime.
Yeah, he loves cartoons and shit, and he's inspired by ninjas and that, and that's why his movement's so good. And he's a really, really good dancer.
That's why his movement's so good?
Because of it.
Because he's inspired. No, you said it's because he's inspired by ninjas and shit.
Sure, I'm sure that's probably part of it. But also, a lot of it, his footwork is because of dancing. Like he almost became a professional dancer before fighting, and he still said that he may become a dancer after fighting. But obviously, you can only fight for so long because he's gonna take advantage of that.
You know, Paige Van Zandt.
And it's true though. Like Lomachenko, one of the best boxers in the game right now, really really good ballet dancer.
Ballet.
I think so. I could be way off, but he's a really good dancer. Let's just say that.
Let's keep it unspecific.
So he's unique. He's very lengthy. He got an amazing
yeah.
kickboxing background. Extremely talented. He's composed. He's confident in himself. He visualizes everything. He has everything that you need to become a potential superstar.
I agree.
And he's rising to every occasion that he's been in. The Derek Brunson fight, everybody thought was going to be a harder test than Brad Tavares, and he fucking starched him. He mentally broke him before the fight. You could tell Derek was like, as Connor would say, shooting for his life. My worst Irish accent ever. But,
this has been an episode for terrible accents.
Yeah. So like he stuffed the takedown every single time, and then even when he hurt Brunson, he was calculated. He stayed composed. He didn't go in there and just start winging his shots and freaking out trying to finish the fight. He was calculated, precise, and that just shows you the type of composure that this cat has.
He does have kind of ridiculous composure. Like, he'll try to bait out a mistake out of his opponent while not making a mistake that someone his age should be fucking making at this point.
He's like 2 steps ahead. He's playing chess and people are playing
40
checkers.
chess.
And this fight is, in his opinion, he said this is bigger than a title fight because Anderson was his idol. It's like who he looked up to watching, obviously, you know. And I think
why'd they made the fight?
I think a lot of motherfuckers are forgetting about Anderson Silva.
They are. That's what I'm saying.
Because of that fucking, like, just based off the odds. Just based off the odds. A fucking 5-1 underdog.
That's nuts.
And this is his first fight back since his fight with Derek Brunson. He won in a controversial decision. I thought he won the fight. Everybody was complaining, saying that he should have lost, but I thought he won the fight. I didn't think Derek did enough to dictate the pace or to like have enough control on the ground or anything like that. I think Anderson landed the more shots and won the fight. Especially based off the new rules, like how they judge differently now.
Yeah.
So if you go like Anderson, that was his last fight, was a win in 2017 February. So it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
And obviously he hasn't fought then because he got popped for a steroid. But he was cleared, like John Jones-esque style, saying that they couldn't prove that he knowingly took it. So they blamed it on a contaminated substance.
Sure.
So that's why he's back early, because this was his second time being popped, and he could have been suspended for like 5 years.
Which probably might have just been the end of his career.
Yeah, he's like 42 right now, 43. Yeah. So, but that's one thing I want to say about his age. Like, he's old, but he ain't MMA old.
No, I get what you're saying. He's not at Belfort level yet.
He hasn't had a lot of wars. He's only been knocked out once. In like recently, maybe like early in his career.
It helps to not get touched when you fight people.
Yeah, he's never been knocked out other than Wyman. Wyman KO, and then the TKO when he broke his leg. That's it. In all of his fights, he's 34-8, and he's only been knocked out one time.
I didn't see that fight live. Was that like a super crazy moment? The Wyman knockout?
Yeah.
Like,
I was at a house party when that happened. My cousin Zach got into a fight that night. The only reason I was there is because I was trying to be his bodyguard.
Back him up. I should tell me that story.
But I was on my phone the whole time at the party because I really wanted to watch that fight. And I was like, oh my God, Wyman knocked him out. Yeah. It was a fluke. It wasn't, I shouldn't say a fluke. Anderson got too cocky.
If it happens 10 times.
Yeah, everybody's seen the knockout. Yeah. But basically, like, he's lost to Wyman 2 times, and it's a no contest with Nick Diaz. He won the fight, but it was overturned by the Nevada Athletic State Commission.
State Athletic Commission.
Yeah, because of steroids. He got popped. And then Nick Diaz got popped for weed as well, so they both fucked up.
Yeah.
And then he lost to Bisping, which he could have won that
Easily
fight.
could have won. He had it into the second round, I think, right? And then he just started fucking around.
Well, no, he just knocked Bisping out fucking cold at the very end of the third round.
I was in the third.
It was the third round.
Are you sure?
Yes, because Bisping came back and won the 4th round. And then the 5th round was like a... Yeah, dude. And then the 5th round was like a whoever, like it could have gone either one. Yeah. And then he fought Daniel Cormier at UFC 200. And he lost that fight.
That was on 4 days, right?
Like a 3 or 4 day notice. And he had his fucking gallbladder removed like 2 weeks before that.
And he did pretty well.
Yeah, he did. Daniel Cormier was afraid to stand with him. And you fucking should be afraid to stand with the spider.
Exactly.
And everybody's forgetting about how good he is standing up.
Forgot about Dre.
And I think Israel more than likely will win the fight. But based off the odds...
He's certainly not this favored.
It should not be. This is the biggest underdog of Anderson's career. More than Daniel Cormier, more than Weidman in the rematch,
How is that even possible? How is he a bigger underdog than against Cormier on 3 days?
The hype machine. Israel's a big hype machine right now. I don't get it. Israel even said everyone's fucking forgetting about how good Anderson is. And here's the thing. Anderson's losses, Weidman, All-American wrestler.
Yeah.
Daniel Cormier, one of the best wrestlers of all time. Bisping is the only one that is like a striker. That was a striker match. Mm-hmm. And that decision could have gone either way.
The only reason
Bisping won the rounds.
He outlived him, basically.
Yeah.
He survived for a while.
Bisping, he won 3 rounds. Anderson did way more damage.
Yeah.
Way more damage. You could say what you want about the knee, if it was cheap or not, but at the end of the day, you're supposed to protect yourself at all times. Bisping did not do that.
Yeah.
And the ref didn't get involved in time to stop it, so that's on Bisping. Really, it is. But shout out to Bisping for having a fucking heart of hearts and coming back and winning that fucking 4th round. That's just crazy. Unbelievable. His cardio is off the change.
Off the change?
Off the change, man. This fight is going to be a pure stand-up fight. Purely stand-up.
There won't be any jiu-jitsu?
The only way there's only jiu-jitsu is if Anderson decides to take Israel down. But why would he take him down?
I mean, yeah.
Anderson's chin it's testy now. Bisping dropped him a couple of times, but he didn't even get close to finishing him. Weidman TK'd him. But other than that, out of all of his fights, it's not like he has a fucking fighter's chin right now. His chin's still there. Mm-hmm. The thing is his swagger there. And I think with somebody with Israel who's just going to stand with them, his swagger will be there. I really do believe that.
He'll start to feel it no matter what, yeah.
My fear of this fight, though, is it may be boring. It's one of those fights that it's so hyped up and you're so excited for it, kind of like a Darren Till Wonder Boy. But they're both so high level, and
they're just waiting for their opening
chess match. And they're both counter strikers. Israel's a pressure fighter, which is good because he'll pressure Anderson, and that's how Anderson thrives. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if Israel's gonna pressure Anderson like he pressures.
He might be smarter than that.
Not smarter. I think he's intimidated by Anderson.
Oh, I see. So you think he's spooked by the spider, so he's just not gonna.
I mean, it's the GOAT. You're facing your idol.
Well, sure.
Not that many people can.
What I meant is he's going to not try to walk into Anderson's game plan.
I hope he's not going to try to walk through him, because if he tries that,
you're fucked.
It could work against him. He could get tagged. Israel's gotten knocked out in kickboxing, and Anderson brought the guy who knocked him out into his training camp. It was like a troll move. He was just Anderson's a little troll.
I've completely decided that was fake crying. He's just trying to fuck up Israel.
Anderson is pretty good at the mental games. So I think Israel will more than likely win, but based off the odds, I like Anderson as a dog in this fight.
I mean, like I said, bet the house, guys.
Yeah, so are we doing shots?
We didn't make a pick.
Well,
who goes first?
I want to pick the main event.
Okay, why do you get to just do that?
So you can pick this one. I can do that because I'm the MMA guy. That's fine. Is it going to be a legend returns or a legend retires?
I don't think he's going to retire, but I do think he'll lose.
How?
Second round, head kick.
Wow. I think the only way he loses is by a decision. I don't see him getting knocked out. I really don't.
We'll see.
I think his stand-up is just too good to get knocked out.
It is very good.
Israel.
I think it's gonna be not. I don't want to say luck, but it's gonna be a chance head kick, if you understand my meaning.
Like he just catches them?
Like he just throws it up there and it happens connect, yeah.
Okay.
But he's super calculated, so I would expect him to know.
So I'm glad. So I got Anderson, and I like that I have Anderson.
And you're going with decision? That would be how you...
No.
What? Excuse me? You think... What? He's going to knock out Izzy?
He might. I really think he might. I think it...
He seems so tentative about this answer.
Because it purely depends on if Israel's going to be aggressive or not. Because if Israel is aggressive, I think Anderson's going to finish him.
Instead of passive?
Yes. If he's a Dalton, Anderson wins by decision.
Wait a minute.
If he's a Nick, Anderson wins by knockout.
Wait a minute.
It's a compliment. Okay, so next fight obviously is the main event.
Bobby Nukes.
Yes. Versus Calvin Gastelum. Which, fun fact, I don't know if you know this. This event sold out faster than the Rolling Stones did at this arena. It was
I think I saw an Instagram post by Robert Whitaker that it had sold out. That was like months ago.
It was the fastest sellout in that arena's history.
Well, I mean, what else do they do there? Rugby?
I think they did Rousey and Holly there.
Oh, shit.
It was the biggest audience of all time for UFC.
Shit. Okay.
Robert Whittaker is like
He's a
low-key
superstar.
He's a low-key GSP. Ariel Helwani said it earlier in the week, and I was like, I agree with that because I don't think you realize how many fights he's won in a row, dude. And the fucking people he has fought, I'll show you. Let me go show
I
you.
know he's fought some straight up monsters. Is it at least 10 fights?
He's the only person that's beat Yoel in the UFC.
And he's done it twice.
And he did it twice, and he was injured in both fights. He broke his fucking foot in the first fight, and then he broke his right hand in the second fight, in the beginning of the fucking fight.
Do you know how we always throw up these bullshit like claims? Like if it was an apocalypse and I had to bring one person, your answer was Tim Kennedy, I believe. I think mine might be Robert Whittaker.
You're a dumbass.
That dude's immortal.
You're a dumbass. You can't do shit with a gun.
He's gonna punch the zombies or
fuck
something,
Robert
man.
Whittaker up. So he lost to Court McGee in a split decision at welterweight.
Okay.
Then he got knocked out by Stephen Thompson at welterweight. Then he went up to middleweight, and then he went on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fight winning streak.
Oh, I said at
And
least
part of
10
those
wrong.
9, 2 Yoel Romero, Jacare Souza. It went Jacare, Yoel. Then Derek Brunson before that, Rafael Natal before that, Uriah Hall before that, Brad Tavares before that. He ran through the division. And based off of the fact that Chris Weidman got knocked the fuck up by Yoel Romero, Luke Rockhold got knocked the fuck up by Yoel Romero, and Whittaker beat Yoel twice in both those wars, it shows you how good Whittaker is.
Yeah.
He is extremely he's just an amazing champion. He's good. He's great everywhere. He has amazing cardio. His striking's really, really good. His footwork's amazing, and his takedown defense is good enough to
Survive against these
yeah.
even the strongest wrestlers.
yeah. And the only reason why he got taken down so much in the second fight is because his right hand was broken. It's like hard to defend takedowns when your fucking hand's broken. You're trying to use leverage and shit.
Yeah.
And he was keeping Yoel at bay with just his left hand with jabs. And he got dropped like 3 times in that fight because of it.
How you win that
He
fight.
was just an animal. He was an animal. Yoel did more damage, but Whittaker won the rounds there. And considering the fact that he was injured in both of those fights, that's just you could tell he has a championship heart. That being said, Calvin Gastelum is super underrated.
Does Calvin have a staph infection though?
I don't know. Does he?
I saw a picture. Yeah,
shit.
little thingy on the back of his
That's not
neck.
good. Oh, that's not a staph infection. I was wondering what that was, though. A staph infection is like inside your skin, I thought. It's not like a bump outside.
It looked like it was just bulging out of the skin, like not out of it, but like it was in there, and it was just like a
I don't know.
like a giant whitehead zit, just really big. Not really big.
Isn't
but,
a
you know.
staph infection?
I don't know
Like,
if it has to be on your chest or
no, but I'm saying, like, does it pop out of your skin, or is it just like a bruise that looks like a bruise on your skin?
maybe there's levels to it. I don't know. I never
Who
had
knows?
one.
I can look it up real quick. Calvin Gastelum.
What is like
staph infection?
What is like the purpose of like if you get a staph infection you can't fight? Is it just because it's contagious?
No, I think you're on antibiotics if you have it. So if you're on antibiotics, you're drained.
Yeah.
It's like Luke
No way you're gonna be
Rockhold.
able to weight cut or anything.
Luke Rockhold had a staph infection when he was fighting Weidman, and when he won that fight, he was exhausted. Calvin Gastelum, what's that freak on your cheek, Kevin? Take a shower, you filthy animal. Kobe tweeted that one. Fucking asshole. That guy has no room to say anything right now. He is the jackass of the UFC, and I fucking love it.
I read just today that Colby said he's not even gonna fight anymore.
Yeah, he's being a little bitch, dude.
Your Googling skills are the worst. Did anyone
I'm
ever tell you
reading.
that?
I'm reading. I don't see anything that's confirming that it's a staph infection.
Yeah. It, hasn't
It
been
just
confirmed.
kind of
Some
looks
people think so.
nasty,
It does look nasty.
but it's all good.
Is that gonna bother Robert Whittaker? No.
Hell no, still pop that motherfucker or punch. Don't aim for that little thing. But anyways, back to Calvin's record.
Yeah.
He was undefeated all the way through the Ultimate Fighter, all the way through welterweight. He was an underdog from like a majority of his fights, and he just finds a way to win. He was undefeated all the way until he fought Woodley, and he had a terrible weight cut. That fight against Woodley, I think he weighed like 178 pounds instead of 170. Woodley was cool with it because there was some kind of backstory with what happened, and Woodley didn't even take any of his purse. He just gave it to him, and Woodley won that by a split decision. And just considering who Woodley is, it just shows you how talented Calvin is.
Yeah.
And then he fought Nate Marquardt at 185 pounds, fucking TKO'd him, lost a split decision to Neil Magny, which Neil Magny is like a cardio machine that is just really good at points. He wins by points and jabbing, shit like that. Then he fucked up Johnny Hendricks. He TKO'd Tim Kennedy. He retired Tim Kennedy. He destroyed Vitor Belfort.
Okay, hang on. Let me stop you right there, since we literally just had a conversation about Robert Whittaker versus Tim Kennedy. So, if Robert Whittaker beats Gastelum by
the world
easily, Robert Whittaker is the choice here. Easily.
If it's an MMA fight, sure.
Just
if it's
life.
end of the
If you win an MMA fight, you win a life fight.
No, you don't,
Yep.
dude. You bring fists to a gunfight. Let's see what
What's
happens.
the
with Tim
guns?
Kennedy.
Where are the guns coming from?
Tim Kennedy probably has a million of them.
Okay, but there's only one person that can hold it, so having that many guns doesn't matter. He's just gonna walk up and punch him. I'll be on like a hill in the background, like sniping him, sniping you,
serious?
shooting at him,
Are you
and keeping him on his
serious?
toes.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, dead serious.
Oh my god, you're fucking making
Nick's
me.
speechless.
You're making me cringe.
He's
This is
speechless.
fucking horrible. I can't even fucking argue with this right now.
Anyway, go on.
He knocked out Vitor, but that fight was overturned because he got popped for marijuana.
Oh, marijuana.
Yeah, it's just fucking stupid.
You're a pothead, Calvin.
Yeah, and then he lost to Weidman, which was a very, very good win for Weidman. Well, he dropped Weidman, but then Weidman took him down and submitted him because that's All American Wrestling.
Yeah.
That's Calvin's weakness is wrestling.
Wrestling.
He fucking retired Bisping.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable 1-2. I rewatched that fight. Bisping was getting his shots and he was finding his range, but Calvin has a chin.
And
he took a punch that
ridiculous
absorbed
boxing.
it, and then just a 1-2, boom, boom. And Bisping, he didn't recover fully from the GSP fight and just fucking crumbled.
Mm.
And then he fucked up Jacare Souza. Well, it was a split decision. I say he would fuck him up. I was thinking Whittaker for a second, but Whittaker did fuck up Jacare. So basically what I'm saying is Calvin has risen to the occasion in every single one of his fights. It's been a competitive fight either way. He's only lost by split decision, and it's just a one submission with Weidman. That's it. And this fight, I really think that Calvin is Whittaker's toughest challenge at the 185-pound division right now.
Because Robert doesn't have that wrestling background to put the pressure on him. So they're
Correct.
both just going to stand there and punch each other.
Yes, and Calvin
His boxing is nuts.
really, really good hands, really, really good footwork. His cardio is there, and he got a really, really good chin. Same thing as Whittaker. Except Whittaker has gotten dropped a few times. Wonder Boy got dropped a few times while Yoel. I'm not saying Calvin can hit as hard as Yoel, but he is more precise of a boxer than Yoel. He's more
Cleaner
crisp.
hits.
Yeah.
Will hit harder.
So this could be an upset. This could be a first-round knockout for Calvin.
Is that why you wanted the first pick?
No, I'm picking Whittaker.
Oh, okay, well.
But the odds on this one's a lot easier. It's minus 200 for Whittaker, plus 200 for Calvin. So 2-1. That's way more realistic. That's kind of...
It's more realistic, yeah. How would it mean easier?
I'm saying it's like a more comfortable bet to bet on Whittaker on this one instead of saying like if it's like a fucking minus 700 for Calvin, I'd be like, fuck, dude. All right, plus 700 for Calvin. I'm sorry, 7-1 underdog.
Yeah. Okay, I
I would
get
say
you.
fucking bet on Calvin. But
Yeah.
in this fight, I think Whittaker, he says he's healthier than he's ever been, which I'm sure that's what everybody says. But he seems like he's
As long
really,
as he's
really
not injured, who cares?
And at the weigh-ins, he looks like he's in fucking amazing shape.
Hmm.
Because you got to remember that he used to suck down to 170 pounds. So at 185 pounds, he doesn't have a low body fat percentage compared to what he had at 170, you know? And he still looks shredded. So that just tells you how in shape he is. And Calvin has dad bod at 185 pounds. He's just
Sure.
not disciplined. He could
He doesn't
easily
need
be
it.
a 170-pound champ.
He knows where his strength is, and it's not in his
Yeah.
belly, it's in his arms.
So I think Whittaker's going to win, but I think it's going to be a very close fight, and I think he's going to win by decision. I don't think he's going to finish Calvin. And it might be a split decision.
Interesting. That'll be exciting. I always love, like we always talk about the matchup between like a striker and a wrestler, and it's always interesting to see who wins. But I mean, striker on striker.
Yeah, this is going to be a high-level
It's gonna be high
striking
level,
match.
yeah.
The
And it's not
co-main in the main event, high-level striking match.
Yeah, the co-main, like you said, has that threat of being boring like a Till Wonderboy fight, but the main event, I really doubt we're gonna
Yeah, it's
see a
not
couple
gonna
people
be.
staring at each other.
I bet you Calvin drops Whittaker at least once. I really do believe that.
I bet you Whittaker drops Calvin at least twice.
I'll take that bet. What do you want to bet? I don't think he's going to drop Calvin at all.
At all?
I don't think so, no. I don't think Calvin's ever been dropped by a punch.
Ever?
Yeah.
Ever?
Ever.
Okay, maybe not twice.
So I got Whittaker, and I got Anderson. So you got Israel, and you got Calvin.
Man,
What's wrong with that?
I want
I feel like we both got a shoe in.
I want a Bobby Knuckles.
Too bad. I got Bobby Knuckles. And this is like, if Israel does win and Whittaker wins.
Do they fight?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
So it's going to be a New Zealand versus Australia.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's going to be like a little civil war. And they'll put... That's the thing that sucks, though, because I hope they put that fight back in Australia. Because Robert Whittaker is money in Australia. That's the best business move. But they only go to Australia like once a year.
Yeah.
So I hope that they make another fight card in Australia for them two to fight. I really do. Because I don't want to see them wait a whole year for the fight because it's not fair for the 185ers. And I want to see that fight in Australia or New Zealand.
It'd be a waste opportunity not to.
Yeah, I agree. It's like terrible business move if they don't do that. So we'll see what happens.
Well, they both have to win still.
Yeah.
Ideally, they take a very little damage. Maybe a couple first round knockouts happen, and then bam, 237.
Right back in there.
Anderson Silva says he wants to fight at 237 after Israel.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
State pay-per-views from now. It just depends on if he takes damage or not, which he usually doesn't take that much damage in his fights. His only war he had is Chael that I can think of. Yeah. Every other one of his fights is just him fucking murking everybody. He was the fucking spider.
Doesn't get touched.
Yeah. So that's UFC 234. I want to go rewind a little bit and talk about UFC Fight Night 144.
Oh, yeah. Did we not talk about that?
No, we didn't.
Because I put that in the video for the last one that we did talk about it, but whatever.
Maybe we did. I want to talk a little bit about that now.
We can talk about the results, that's for sure.
Yeah, we made our picks or something. That's probably what we did. We probably made the picks when we didn't talk about the results. So Johnny Walker, remember how we talked about Johnny Walker Whiskey in the old podcast?
Yep.
Johnny Walker, the fighter...
Came out fucking
like
on fire.
second or third fastest knockout in light heavyweight history.
Yeah.
He fucking destroyed homeboy. I don't even know who he was fighting. It doesn't even fucking matter.
He doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. He almost landed that illegal kick to the head.
I did see that, yeah.
I was listening to his interview with Ariel. He said that he was aiming for his stomach, but the camera is
I don't think so.
Whatever. Like your adrenaline's running through the world.
Can only imagine.
Obviously, he's not like the most experienced MMA fighter. He has a lot of fights, but not a lot of UFC fights in that fucking atmosphere in Brazil and shit. So he looks amazing, and he could be a potential threat for John Jones in the future. Give him a few more fights, give him a couple more tests to see what happens.
Right.
If Anthony Smith don't fucking destroy
Hopefully it does.
John Jones, which
I saw he got visited
did you
by
see that stare down, dude.
I did not see a stare down.
Yeah, they had a press conference and there was a stare. That fucking fight card is stacked. We're not gonna talk about that one right now.
We'll get there.
Talk about that one later. But I like it. I like Anthony Smith in that fight. I like his confidence.
I just read he tweeted today that he got visited by the athletic commission. They were trying to drug test him in like the middle of the night, banging on his door. He's like, "Can't man get some rest? The bad guy's already gotten popped already."
Yeah, he's like, "You don't give a fuck." He even said that too. He's like, "I don't care if he's on steroids or not. There's nothing I can do to control it. I'm not gonna let it like hinder my performance. I'm gonna beat him if he's on it." And I like that.
Sure. I mean, we'll see how it works for him, but
right, we'll see. Back to the fight night. This is a big win for Brazil. This whole fucking card, pretty much. Damian Maia, first round submission. Damian Maia backpack style. Got his back immediately. Choked the fucker out.
Does Damian Maia retire this year?
No.
He only got like 2 fights left, doesn't he?
He said he wants to pass Cowboy and Bisping up for the most fights in the UFC. So I think he has like 2 or 3 more to do that. But Cowboy, I mean, if you're competing with Cowboy, you can't retire anytime soon. But I mean, I would like to see him retire by the end of the year. What is the reason why he's fighting? I don't know if he's gotten knocked out that much, but he's definitely battle tested. He got all the mileage behind him, but I don't know if it's necessarily like brain damage. But I'm sure his body's sore shit, and he's old. He don't even look physically intimidating at all. He's just extremely good at jiu-jitsu. He's the best jiu-jitsu practitioner in UFC, in my opinion.
Yeah, no other way to put it.
And then Aldo coming out to Rihanna. This is what was supposed to happen when he fucking fought Conor. When he fought Conor, we were watching it at the bar, and
the whole time,
obviously,
me, in case you actually can't see Conor McGregor here because of the camera, but I was
Don's a dick rider
essentially on Conor's dick. Won't beat around the bush at all.
I was a Conor hater, still am to this day.
Yeah.
I wanted Aldo to win so bad, and we were both trashed, wasted. And Conor came out to like it, they had the singer and shit, and they actually like his entrance was dope. But then Aldo came out to fucking Rihanna. Run this town, and me and you both were like, "Oh shit!" I was about to.
You were super excited. I was like, "Oh no!
And then,
no way I win!"
And then fucking Conor did what Conor did.
13 seconds.
But this time, he came out to Rihanna again, and my immediate confidence just it came back for Aldo. I'm like, "Ooh, he's gonna fucking destroy Moicano."
I was getting PTSD.
And he was the fucking underdog, like a 4-1 underdog against Moicano. Like I get Moicano's really, really good, but he's a prospect, and Aldo is still Aldo. Just because he lost to Conor, came back, he fucking beat Frankie, Not that many people beat Frankie. And then he lost to Holloway twice, but that's not a bad thing. Like, you can't say that he's not the Aldo of old because you lose to Holloway. Holloway is one of the greats. He's in his fucking prime.
It's true.
Aldo is not in his prime anymore, but Aldo, not in his prime, is still amazing fighter.
And apparently better than Moicano.
Yeah, he destroyed Moicano. He really did. He just fucking overwhelmed him with shots.
Do you think it was the lights? Do you think it was that legend status if you're standing across from someone like Aldo?
I'm sure that was part of it. I'm sure it was part of it. But it was also a lot of Aldo's talent. It wasn't like Aldo was losing that fight any aspect of that fight.
The way he put the pressure on was absolutely nuts.
Yeah, that's the Aldo of old. When he smells blood, he fucking just goes after you like a shark. And he's ruthless. He's Robbie Lawler. He's relentless. So I was really happy for Aldo. And then also I was extremely happy for Marlon Moraes. Like,
well, I mean, you said Brazil got a good win, but in this case, it was
either way.
Couldn't lose.
Yeah. So I've talked about Marlon a lot in the past.
You have, yeah.
And I told you
on
that
his dick for a while.
He's extremely fucking good.
Man,
he came to the UFC from World Series of Fighting. He lost the split decision to Rafael Assunção in his debut in UFC. And you're fighting Assunção on your debut. That's a tough fucking fight. Yeah. It's a tough go. It really is. Then he came back and then he fought John Dodson. He won a decision. It wasn't the most it was an underwhelming performance. It was good, but it wasn't like amazing.
Sure.
And then he fucking starched Aljamain in the first round, one of the most ruthless knockouts of that year. And then he fucking starched homeboy who had like a 20 fight win streak. Not John Lineker. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I can find it real quick.
Here comes some shitty Googling.
I am so bad with fucking names, dude.
It is quite a hindrance. I don't know how you've gotten this far in life.
Dude, one day at a time. One fucking day at a time. Jimmy Rivera.
There you go.
Yeah, he was on 20 fight win streak. Jimmy Rivera was really, really good. And he fucking knocked him out. They had a lot of bad blood. Jimmy and Elavi Delaziz hated each other because apparently Jimmy Rivera, this is a tangent, but he said that Ali called Jimmy's wife a whore or a bitch or something right to her face. So Jimmy was like fucking super livid. And then Marlon was obviously saying that Ali's like an amazing person because everybody who's like under his management says these amazing things about him. And
that's because if they don't, they'll fucking kill him because he's a terrorist.
Fucking so stupid. I don't believe that, dude.
What do you mean?
I believe maybe he had some kind of tampering in the past, but I don't think
tampering.
I don't think
he
like
was in an terrorist organization.
We talked about it a million times. I can't prove it. I don't care.
Just because you can't prove it doesn't mean he's a great person.
I don't want to judge somebody if you don't got hard evidence. So
you judge people all the time. You're basically Judge Judy. Shut the fuck up.
I judge people's bodies
and appearance and
appearance, but I don't judge their history. You know, it's like whatever. If I can't prove it, I'm not gonna call you.
Yeah, you don't judge what actually matters.
Yeah, I don't. I just judge physical shit. I judge the fucking book, not the. I judge the cover, not the book. Yeah,
because you can't read. Moving on. Wow. Marlon Moraes.
Yeah, so he finished the Assunção. He knocked him down, and then he choked him out. Just unbelievable performance again. 3 of them in a row.
He was like a superhero.
Finishes. Yeah, he's fucking fit. When I was explaining Dalton, he's like a Frankie Edgar at 135 pounds, but a little bit more devastating. And he's not undersized.
Any hair, so he's super aerodynamic.
Sure.
Like One Punch Man. Anime reference. That's for Israel.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Anyways, he's not undersized like Frankie. So
beef boy.
Yeah, so like imagine Frankie at like flyweight, which a lot of people think that he could cut to make 125 pounds.
Sure.
He would fucking work if he's healthy, and obviously it's not like the diminished returns kind of thing.
It's a TJ effect.
Yeah, but Marlon is in the right weight class, and he's in his prime right now. And I loved what he did at the end of that post-fight interview, how he said TJ doesn't even deserve to fight him. If he's lucky, he'll fight him because he's embarrassed that he lost to Henry the way he did.
Insulted the division.
I mean, you know you're probably not going to get that fight because Henry's probably going to get that fight at 135 pounds. That's the only fight that really makes sense right now.
Sure.
Because if you have TJ fight somebody else, it's kind of like a diminished champion. Because
you like that word today, don't you?
Yeah.
Diminished.
I learned that word today. I use it 5 times in a day, so I remember it and shit.
Word of the day.
So, I think they're going to have to do the TJ Henry fight again.
Sure.
I hope it's not at 125 pounds again. Because I would like to see Cejudo at 135. I'm curious to see how he looks.
So who would be left for Marlon?
I think Marlon should wait.
Ah.
That's what I think. I think he should wait and fight the winner. And fun fact, Ali is manager of Henry and Marlon and Calvin and Khabib.
That's not fun. Those are all terrorists in my eyes now.
And I think there's one other person.
I'm sure there's many more people.
Yeah, but I'm saying there are potential champions this year. But I can't think of it offhand.
Oh, well, neither here nor there.
I'm saying, but he has like probably like the most champions.
I get it, whatever. Doesn't make him any less of an asshole. Doesn't make him any more of an asshole.
So,
whatever.
good on Marlon. I hope he waits. Johnny Walker, really, really good prospect to watch. It's fun times in the light heavyweight division again. They're finally getting new faces, new blood. Aldo looked great. I heard he wants to fight, I think his name's Volkanovski, the guy who just beat Chad Mendes. He wants to fight him.
Volkanovski.
Yeah, he wants to fight him because he believes he's the number one contender, and Aldo wants to... He's retiring this year, but he wants one more crack at the title. And he thinks the only way that he can do that is if Holloway goes up to 155 or if he takes out all the number one contenders. So his plan is just to fucking slaughter the whole division until they have to fucking give it to him.
I like the tactic.
Yeah, so he's on a mission. So one other thing I want to talk about, this is older, obviously, because like I said, bought a house of shit, no big deal.
Okay.
So, and I want to talk about Conor and Khabib.
Conor and Khabib? I thought you were going to say Conor and Cerrone. Because just like 40 minutes ago, Cowboy sent an Instagram post out or somewhere saying that the fight is pretty much done for 155 interim belt.
For an interim belt?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, dude.
I know, right? Do either of them deserve that?
No.
I don't get it.
Cowboy came to 155 while it fought Alex Hernandez. That's not a top-ranked 155er. What the fuck? What is Tony Ferguson thinking right now, dude?
Even Dana says that Khabib Tony is the fight to make, but why the fuck is he putting...
Why are they selling an interim title? They don't need an interim title.
Why? Yeah, why?
Why? I think it's because Khabib said he's not going to fight until November. Which
November, he
is like
said?
a year, because he's waiting.
Oh, shit, I'm reading it right now. Dana White on Khabib a plan to sit out until November. What did Dana say?
He said that they might have to do an interim, but I don't think you do, dude. And then if you do that, and Conor beats Cowboy...
Yay! Conor versus Khabib again.
Yeah, what do you think's going to happen in that second fight?
The exact same thing.
So why would you do that to Conor immediately? Have him fight non-title fight. It's just a fun fight. You don't need to have a title to make it a fucking money fight for
Exactly,
Conor.
yeah. It doesn't even add anything. Obviously, people are going to watch it anyway. It's Conor and Cowboy.
I don't agree with their business model with, like, they have to have champions in every single pay-per-view. I think that they either need to add more champions, add more classes.
Weight classes, yeah.
Or they need to cut down on so many events, because you get pay-per-views like this one where you can only have 2 high-profile fights.
Right.
Obviously, the next pay-per-view is super stacked, but you're going to have a few pay-per-views a year that aren't stacked at all. And that's partially why your numbers are low, because there's so much influx of fights. But if you had less pay-per-views and you had less events, and the events that you had were way more stacked, you're going to get more buys. Yeah. That being said, I don't know if the more buys is more profit than more events.
Is quantity better than quality?
Yeah, the quality is not as good, but the quantity may be more profitable. I'm sure their business model is fine. I'm over here talking shit like I'm gonna be like the new UFC project manager or some shit.
If I was ahead of this shit, I would do a 2v2 Conor and... Should it be Conor and Cowboy or Conor and Tony? I'm not sure. One of the two versus
who?
Khabib and whoever is...
Khabib and Khabib?
Yeah, never mind. Fuck it. All 3 of them versus Khabib.
I would take Khabib over Cowboy and Conor.
Would you?
Fuck yeah.
That was going to be my original plan. Cowboy and Conor, the fucking alcohol bros,
dude,
versus Tony and Khabib. That'd be filthy, actually.
Khabib would just ragdoll.
That team. Can you imagine? If they did like tag teams?
If we're doing team versus teams, I'm taking the Diaz team.
What are that's the best 2 people you can come up with? The best team you can come up with is the Diaz bros?
Oh, like a 2v2?
2v2, bro.
Oh, I think like the teams.
No,
so I was
not team.
Like Nick, and then Nate, and then Gilbert, and then Jake Shields.
No.
Okay.
Because I don't want Dylan Dennis and Connor's fucking team.
So what division are we doing? Let's do a 2v2.
What's the most exciting one, I guess?
I'm picking DC Kane. AKA Son. Ain't nobody beating that team. John Jones and who?
That's not okay. You can't do that.
John Jones and Stipe? Ooh.
I was going to pick Stipe if that was what you're going to go with. That was one option, but I don't know who else. Brock? Stipe and Brock?
No, you'd have to have John. Because John and GC. Yeah, John at any weight, dude. John's John.
Okay.
John is John.
I don't want fucking John Jones on my team.
Nobody wants John Jones on
I
my
went
team.
into this discussion with planning like GSP and Conor or something like that. And then you went up to heavyweight.
If you do GSP and Conor at 155, I would do Khabib and El Kakui.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone beats that team.
Because I think Khabib will neutralize GSP.
Yeah.
And I think El Kakui is Actually, I don't know. I always thought about that fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
about it a little bit.
I think Conor would probably beat El Kukui because El Kukui,
All he has to do is catch him.
He gets dropped.
Mm-hmm.
He don't get finished a lot, but when he gets dropped, the majority of his opponents swarm him and they go to the ground with him. And then obviously his 10th planet black belt kicks in and his muscle memory kicks in and he rolls and he survives long enough for his chin to come back.
Yeah.
Conor won't do that. He's precise. He's like Israel. He lands the shots and he'll be patient. So I think Conor's a terrible matchup for Tony.
Fair. You mean the other way?
No, Conor's a terrible
terrible. I get you.
matchup for
I get what
Tony.
you're saying.
Unless he can't finish Tony. If he can't finish Tony and Tony turns into the zombie mode like he does, then Conor's fucked. Because his cardio is off the charts.
That's when he just tags in GSP and starts wrestling.
That would be a good fight. GSP versus Tony. That'd be a really good fight. That'd be a bloody fight. One thing you gotta deal with Tony is his fucking bony ass elbows. That guy lets you know you're in a fucking war every single time you're fighting.
That's true. He also bleeds everywhere himself. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So Tony is a fucking amazing fighter. He really is.
Anyway, that's a little fantasy
we
land
need
of
to see him and
2v2.
Khabib. But back to the fucking
Real life shit.
So Conor, I'm sure everybody knows, right? He got suspended for 6 months, fined
Yeah.
$50K.
Yeah. That was 6 months retroactive from the incident.
Correct.
So is that over already?
In April, I believe he could fight again. So do you agree with that? What is your
6
thoughts on that?
months?
6 months and $50,000 fine.
For his end, I think that's fair. I feel like
thought-
maybe they wanted to add. Maybe they should have added on some more punishment from the Dolly incident.
Well,
to
they should have
instigate
did
the whole
that.
thing.
New York should have did that in the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah.
I think I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they didn't fine him at all. Like the $50K, I don't really think you need to fine Conor. If I'm being honest,
What does that do?
if we're only talking about the actions that happened after the fight, which is the only thing that we're talking about, I don't think Conor should have got punished at all.
I mean, yeah. All he did was
He was defending himself. That's all it was. He's after a fight. You got people rushing motherfuckers that are in your
literally
face.
jumping into the fucking
so
cage.
even if he hit the first punch, he threw the first punch. I mean, it's self-defense.
And people who aren't fighters shouldn't be jumping in the cage
Correct.
to attack fighters.
Correct. So Khabib got suspended for 9 months, but he can turn it to 6 months if he does some kind of commercial, some kind of stupid commercial, an anti-bullying
Anti-violence
campaign
or anti-bullying.
for Nevada State Athletic Commission. And he was fined 25% of his purse, $500,000.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's how I agree with the suspension because you can't just.
You can't instigate like
I
that.
get why Khabib did it.
Sure.
I condone it.
You condone
I
it?
condone it. I don't. I'm not like anti Khabib, but just because I condone it, don't mean you don't get punished for it.
Yeah, you can't do that.
So I'm on team fuck Dylan Dennis. I do not like that guy at all. He rides on Conor McGregor's dick. The only reason why he's where he's at is because of Conor McGregor. Not because of his own promotion, not because of his own marketing. It's because of Conor McGregor. Just like
How come you don't talk that shit about Artem,
just
bro?
because the GOAT, Artem Lobov, is literally the only reason why. I was literally on that fucking topic, you
Sorry,
fuck.
I interrupted you. Yeah, I get it. Fuck Dylan Dennis, but that doesn't mean you can fucking do that.
But I think the fine is a little much.
500,000?
Yeah. It's only 25% of your purse, but when your purse is that big,
I know, that's a big percentage.
and that's Khabib's only huge
And
payday.
is that added on to what was taken from him before? Did he ever
No.
get that money back?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think he gets it back now. So he probably only gets back half his money. I'm thinking what probably happened was, oh yeah, we're gonna hold half of Khabib's purse, the $1 million,
And then they have to give it back. So you're like, okay, well, we're going to fine you.
No,
for
they probably spent $500,000 and they only had $500,000 left.
Wait,
so I was
we have to give it back?
We'll fine you $500,000. But I think they were trying to set a precedent to nip this in the bud so that it doesn't happen again. Because this one, there was minimal damage. Nobody really got hurt.
Which is like the best case scenario for that.
No fans got injured. There's no lawsuits or anything like that. No charges pressed. So how it happened was best case scenario. Really good for UFC security team, their PR team. That being said, I'm sure Nevada does not want this shit to happen again.
Didn't
so
Khabib say he's not even going to fight into that
yeah,
anymore?
he says he's not fighting there anymore because not necessarily because of him, but because they
his teammates?
suspended Zabara Tukajov. I don't know how to say his last name. Tukagov and Abukar Nurmagomedov. Those two got suspended for a year and they were fined $25,000.
Well, maybe they shouldn't have hit a fighter. Who knows?
Yeah, I think it's justified. I'm okay with it. I was not okay with the UFC saying that they were going to ban them for life, that they're done.
That would be a lot, yeah.
Yeah, like that's just stupid to me. Like nobody got hurt. I get
Maybe that's also just to set a precedent and spook them.
sure, but I'm just glad that they just kind of like, okay, let's just not let this happen again. The emotions got the best of them.
Yeah.
It was a mistake. Everybody acknowledges it. And realistically, you guys let Conor do whatever the fuck he wants, and you can't just set a precedent after the fact. If you want to do it, you do it when it first starts. So going forward, if they are scheduled to fight again, if there's any shenanigans, then you can fucking nip it in the bud there.
Yeah.
But realistically, UFC can do that because they love it. It's good. It's good for the pay per view.
They absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Turns them into their own little WWE.
So Khabib vouched to pay for both their fines, and he ain't fighting until they fight. And he also sent out a tweet to Nevada saying that Nevada condones prostitution and gambling, so they need to look at themselves before they can judge Khabib.
Wow. All right. Quite the call out, I suppose.
Khabib's on his high horse.
Yeah,
that's Khabib. You can't really deny that. But overall, I think the suspensions were okay. I think the fine's a little much for Khabib. I get it, but I think it's a little much.
I agree.
I think it's kind of a fucking joke. $500,000 is a lot of money.
Seems like theft.
It's not like Khabib gets paid $2 million every single fight.
I know, yeah. He fights, twice a year? 3 times, tops?
Twice a year, but he was only making $250 and $250 before Conor. Going forward, he's going to make a lot of money, but that's just a lot of money you take from a fucking fighter, in my opinion. Especially with the minimal damage that happened.
True, what is he really paying for?
Right. So, hopefully, nothing fucking happens again.
No more shenanigans.
They don't find him again. We fucking see the fight. We see Conor get destroyed.
I'd just rather not see that.
I think Conor against Cowboy, that's a good fight for Conor. I really do.
I do.
Even if Cowboy comes in as Cowboy,
right?
I think Conor's still better than the best Cowboy.
I agree.
Cowboy's chin has been tested. His liver's been tested several times.
Connor's just a better counter.
Yeah, he's a better striker. The only time Conor's chin has ever been tested was with Khabib. That fucking beautiful overhand right. Boom! So then you gotta watch out about them wrestlers. You gotta be assessed with the takedown. See, I love Khabib. And I love the just desserts that happen.
Let's wrap it up, bro.
If you guys enjoyed this special bonus episode, make sure you rate, subscribe. If you think that my picks are right, if you think Don's picks are right, let us know. Let us know if one of us is retarded. Dalton.
No.
And let us know if one of us is a genius.
No.
Nick. And then we'll go from there. We have a website, pnacast.com, a YouTube channel, youtube.com/pnacast.
Nope.
I think. Passive and aggressive. What is it?
It's a bunch of random numbers.
Oh, we'll work on that.
Go to our website and you can find our YouTube shit right there. We have the episodes. We have some gaming shit. Make sure you stay tuned for that. And again, we do have a normal episode on Monday.
Correct.
So that's why you subscribe, so you have all this bonus.
I'm about to upload 2 podcasts right now, and then we'll have another one Monday because we're just getting back in the grind. We're getting shit done. We're getting shit corrected. We have video now. The last video that we didn't work out. We're growing. We got some growing pains going, but it's all good.
It's because we're stupid.
One day at a time.
Till next time.
See ya.